Do you think all watches are equal or of the same value? Some are in a class by themselves. Luxury timepieces are more than just accessories. They're wearable works of art that combine exceptional craftsmanship with a fashionable aesthetic. As a result, it's no surprise that names like Rolex evoke strong emotions in almost everyone, not just watch lovers. So, if you're seeking a timepiece that will deliver both fashion and function for years to come, look no further than the world's most luxurious watches. These names exude prestige and splendor because of their exquisite designs and flawless manufacturing. Before we move further, kindly subscribe to this channel and hit the bell icon to stay updated on this channel. Without further delay, let's move on. Number 10. Audemars Piguet Royal Oak. The Audemars Piguet Royal Oak originated as an avant-garde timepiece that caused some market confusion. Audemars Piguet, known for noble materials and timeless designs, encountered financial difficulties during the quartz crisis and set out to produce a clock that would reinvent a premium watch. The Royal Oak was inspired by a classic diver's helmet and was made of durable stainless steel, a material that was nearly unknown in the world of fine timepieces. It was designed by the revolutionary Gerald Genta. It debuted at the 1972 Basel Watch Fair and quickly became a big international success. Although the design and technical characteristics of the clock have altered slightly over the years, the watch's identifying the traits, the octagonal form and exposed screws have stayed intact. Number 9. Zenith El Primero. The Zenith El Primero is a high-precision timepiece. The sophisticated watch movement, which beats at a high frequency of 36,000 vibrations per hour and can precisely measure time to 1/10 of a second, took watchmakers 7 years to build. In addition to its high frequency, the clock has a power reserve of more than 50 hours. The name El Primero translates to the first in Esperanto, which is especially appropriate given that the timepiece was the first automatic chronograph to be constructed. Today, the Zenith El Primero is still regarded as one of the most exact chronographs of all time, as well as one of the most well-known watches in the world. Number 8. Omega Speedmaster. The Omega Speedmaster, commonly known as the Moonwatch or Speedy, was introduced over a half-century ago and is one of the most well-known watches in the world. Originally designed as a racetrack instrument, the Speedmaster finally underwent NASA testing and became the space agency's official clock. The Speedmaster was not only the first watch worn on the moon's surface, it also saved the lives of NASA astronauts during the Apollo 13 mission in 1970. The looks of the clock have not changed significantly since then, albeit it has been upgraded with updated movements. Number 7. Rolex Submariner. The Submariner, initially introduced in 1953, was the first diver's watch with waterproof qualities up to 100 meters. Rolex generated a lot of buzz and interest before the model's introduction by conducting multiple rigorous field tests to assure perfect performance. When the watch was ultimately unveiled to the public, it included an unrivaled technology, a screw-down crown system dubbed Twin Lock. Furthermore, the watch's aesthetics affected the watch-loving community, and it eventually ended up on the wrist of Sean Connery, the first actor to play the elegant M16 spy, James Bond. Today, the Rolex Submariner is regarded as the ultimate diving watch and is the first timepiece that comes to mind when contemplating an expedition to the deep sea. Number 6. Breitling Navitimer. The Breitling Navitimer, known for its useful slide rule, is a favorite of not only aeronautical enthusiasts, but also keen watch collectors and connoisseurs. The clock, which was introduced in 1952, features its usual slide rule bezel, which is used to calculate sophisticated tasks like fuel consumption, airspeed, and distance. However, it is not just the watch's functional characteristics that appeal to the watch-loving market, but also the timepiece's striking and unusual style. The Breitling Navitimer stands out on the wrist thanks to its eye-catching case, ratcheted bezel, and red seconds hand. Are you curious about what the most rated would be? Well, sit tight and watch till you get to see which one comes first. Number 5. Rolex Datejust. The Rolex Datejust debuted in 1945 and was differentiated by its useful date information on the dial of the watch. The date displayed on the early models would first begin to shift hours before midnight. However, thanks to intermediary gears and a spring mechanism, the date could readily jump at the stroke of midnight in 1955, a feature deemed revolutionary in the watchmaking industry. The Cyclops lens, a long-known hallmark of the Rolex Datejust, was not introduced until 9 years after the watch's debut. The overall design of the watch has stayed almost unchanged since then. The clock has been seen on the wrists of many notable people, including Winston Churchill and Dwight D. Eisenhower. It is a symbol of strength and elegance. Number 4. Patek Philippe Perpetual Calendar Chronograph. Patek Philippe's reference 1518 Perpetual Calendar Chronograph debuted in 1941 and measures 35 millimeters in diameter. Not only could the wristwatch keep track of the date for 200 years without needing to be adjusted, but it could also measure minute increments of time, which wowed the watch-loving community. Patek Philippe updated the clock over time, eventually turning into the reference 2499 and so on. The Patek Philippe Perpetual Calendar is still a sensation today and is perhaps one of the most sought-after pieces among watch collectors. The brand's current Perpetual Calendar has an in-house designed and manufactured movement with a complicated split-seconds chronograph. Number 3. IWC Pilot's Watch. IWC released the first special pilot's watch in 1936, and timepieces from the line have continued to impress ever since. The renowned Mark 11, a watch created for the Royal Air Force, is descended from the special pilot's watch. The clock has a watertight stainless steel case as well as a soft inner iron cage that shields the movement from magnetic fields. The timepiece is regarded as one of the greatest military watches ever made and is now a valuable collector's item. Mark 11's descendants, such as the outstanding Big Pilot, carry on the name and ideas of the amazing pilot's watch. Number 2. Jaeger-LeCoultre Reverso. The watch, which debuted in 1931, was designed expressly for Britain's elite polo playing society and featured a watch case that could swivel around to protect the watch glass from cracks produced by sheer force. The wristwatch's Art Deco appearance was immediately approved, and the design of the timepiece still appeals to watch aficionados today. The Jaeger-LeCoultre Reverso is distinguished by its angular case and bright blue hands, and it is driven by an in-house, rectangularly formed movement. Number 1. Cartier Santos. Cartier created one of the first wristwatches known to mankind, the Cartier Santos, in 1904 at the request of the Franco-Brazilian pilot Alberto Santos. Previously, Santos had difficulty monitoring the time in mid-flight since it was impossible to pull out his pocket watch while maintaining control of the steering wheel. This challenge was swiftly remedied by the Cartier Santos, which finally revolutionized the world of watchmaking. However, it is not simply Santos's history that continues to captivate the hearts of watch enthusiasts today. It is the timepiece's traditional and exquisite appearance that makes it so appealing. The Cartier Santos collection is now divided into 2 lines, Santos Dumont and Santos 100, all of which entice with an elegant appeal and convey the story of a pioneering heritage. We've come to the end of this video. Which of these watches do you think will suit you? You can drop your thoughts in the comment section. I think the Rolex Datejust is my kind of watch. As always, make sure you like and share this video. Also subscribe to this channel and turn on your notification post. See you in the next video coming up.